Welcome to the installation video of the CURT 31020 front mount receiver hitch on the 2012 Jeep Liberty. To give you a better view of the installation, we are using a lift. Like most installations, this vehicle does not need to be elevated for the install. We estimate this installation to take 45 minutes to an hour and a half depending on your level of expertise. First, let's go over the tools necessary for the install. You'll need a torque wrench, a ratchet, a swivel socket, a 10-inch or longer ratchet extension, utility knife, 11/16 socket, a die grinder, a Phillips screwdriver, and a trim retainer removal tool. This installation video was shot on a Jeep Liberty without a skid shield and tow loops. Please refer to the install sheet if your vehicle is equipped with skid shield and tow loops. Lower the air dam by removing the attachment fasteners. Three of these fasteners must be pried off and will be replaced later. The air dam will be trimmed and reinstalled once the hitch installation is complete. Using a die grinder, enlarge the access hole in the passenger side frame rail. Fish wire the 7/16 carriage bolts and SP11 spacers through the frame rail on the passenger side. To do this, insert the coiled end of the fish wire in through the foremost attachment points and out through the access hole. Place the spacer over the fish wire and thread the 7/16 carriage bolt into the coiled end. Pull on the opposing end, allowing the bolt to pass through the spacer and out the attachment point. Repeat this process on the next attachment point. The third attachment point is the access hole in which we will use the reverse fish wire technique. To reverse fish wire, thread the carriage bolt onto the fish wire, then place the bolt into the mounting hole head first, feed the spacer onto the fish wire and angle it into the mounting hole. Pull back down on the fish wire and the bolt will pass through the spacer and frame. Leave the fish wires attached to prevent losing the hardware into the frame. On the driver's side, fish wire the 7/16 carriage bolts and SP11 spacers through the frame rail, this time using the existing access hole located here. Start with the foremost attachment point to prevent the hardware from binding within the frame. Again, leave the fish wires attached to prevent losing the hardware in the frame. Thread the fish wires through the mounting holes in the hitch and raise the hitch into position. Remove the fish wires and secure the hitch to the frame using the 7/16 flange nuts. Torque all hardware to 50 foot-pounds. Lastly, trim and reinstall the air dam. To trim the air dam, refer to the install sheet for cutting dimensions. It may be helpful to use the installed hitch as a guide to find the center line and double check the cut lines. Use masking tape to mark the cut lines. Score the cut lines and make multiple passes to properly cut the fascia. Do not use excessive force when cutting. Once the fascia has been cut, install it with the previously removed fasteners and 2 provided replacement fasteners. This completes the installation of the CURT 31020 front mount receiver hitch on the 2012 Jeep Liberty. Still need a winch mount or cargo carrier? Find all that and more at curtmfg.com.
CURT, the first name in towing products.